Hey Tatiana, so I decided actually to just record a video and audio on the feedback. So I think it will be easier for you and for me. So first things, like I said, well done. Really, I think 80-90% of it is it's perfect. Just we need to adjust little details, and just because some stuff is it's your first time, so obviously they still have a few learnings to make, but I'm sure that you'll do perfect. Anyway, first thing that I wrote here actually, so yeah, challenge plan. So I personally think, when I open this page, is that my attention is all on the icons. First of all, there are many of them. Second, they're really dark and black. That like my attention is on there, and what I would like, that attention is always on what you need to do. So I think to simplify and make it a little bit more clean, I think the idea of the icons was nice, but maybe in this case it doesn't work as well. So maybe if we take away the icons and we enlarge these parts, so the text is always it's bigger, it's clearer. We can make maybe these parts bigger. Maybe we can add labels, like week 1, week 2, week 3, something like that. So, maybe it's more simple. Maybe it's not as nice as it would be with the graphics, but it would be clearer and cleaner. And that's, I think, the priority. Another stuff I think I notice is also in some other parts, we have to make sure that the spacing and the alignment is always perfect. What I mean is that, for example, if you take this box, like it's not perfect in the middle, in terms of here, like it's in the middle horizontally, but vertically, it's not aligned. Like here it's perfect actually. So we just have to make everything, aligned vertically and horizontally perfect in the middle, right here. So yeah, so this is for this. What else I have written? Yeah, hashtag. Let's make it just exercise power, because I think daily exercise power is too long. So once you change here, it will also change in these kind of places. So that's just a small thing. Then quotes. Yeah. So because I made a copy of the planking challenge guide, which still had some old stuff. What I would like to do is if we could change the quotes text font to Rustico. You should have that. If not, they should be in if you go to the other challenges and you go to for example, book reading and package folder, and in fonts, they should be Rustico. Yeah, this one. So would be great, because I think it's just cleaner and clearer. Like it still has this artistic feel to it, but it's a little bit easier to read. This one is very nice, but I changed later because I think it's not as clear to read. So that's number 1 for quotes. Number 2, let's make sure that the quote color is consistent. That means, for example, here we have, this is the way it should be. Like we have quote text in white and the order in black. Whereas in some other places I saw, for example, here, we have the text black, and where else? And somewhere else I saw, for example, here the text is black and the order is white. So it should be everywhere the same. Quote text white and author black. Another stuff, feel free to feel flexible. Actually, here you see it's also a small thing. It should be just 1 dot. Don't be constrained by the size of the boxes just because they were there this size, and now you have to keep it this size. No. So you can, for the sake of, for example, nicer look, for example, here the margin between where the text ends and here where the image ends and where the quote starts, it's very small. I think if you give more space, like there's this bigger space here, it would just give more clean professional look. So in this case, you could easily, reduce the size of the font, put those quotes maybe together, always keep the author under, because I can see you put it there because it didn't fit. But, if you keep the font smaller, and put everything, and you could just reduce the height of the box once, you have more space. So yeah, feel free to, resize the text, resize the boxes, play around with it, maybe even if it's, maybe the quote is too long. I think Davila always gives few choices. So in case of the, like there's no space for the long text, you can always adjust. Because there are two reasons why I've put quotes in those pages in general. One is, to give easier, nicer content, not something basically entertaining or inspirational. But also the other reason is that I just wanted to fill in the blank space. I didn't want to have a lot of white space in these pages. So sometimes, I didn't have so much text. So okay, the box would be bigger. But if I have enough of the text content, the quote would be much smaller. Like for example, we have, I think in usually education section, it's it's much smaller, right? So we can also fit long quote in a smaller box. So really, like this part is flexible. You can really adjust everything according to how much content it is. What else? So this is what I meant here. Yeah. So I trust your judgment. What you think. Basically, what you think it should be done. Then and this stuff, it's cool actually that you changed. But for this page, just to save time, and anyway it's a kind of different challenge. I usually just leave what it was there, so I don't even need to change. So, but it's good. You could just keep it. But also, for example, a good example of the spacing. Let's make sure that if we have so much space here, we have also more space here. So that means in this case, you could also reduce a couple of points, the font size, move this up, and then move the author up. Or I think in the last, I didn't have an author, which is a quote. That's why the spacing like this. But anyway, the spacing is really important because you can, at least, I don't know, for me, I can notice this right away if I take the, some kind of design document and the margins are off. So it kind of, this attention to detail, it's super important. Then images, yeah. So I've now, I've checked the images, and I understood when you said maybe it's too feminine, and maybe I just noticed because you told me. But in general, I think it would be good to have a bigger balance of men and women pictures. So it would be nice that if you change, let's say this one or this one to a guy working out or a couple, so we have, let's say, just at least one a picture of the guy working out, because everywhere here is the lady, which I don't mind, but I think it should be more balanced in terms of who's on the picture. Then very important part, because Davila, she doesn't put, because just the way we worked before, she doesn't put the challenge guidelines and recipe for success like I have in other challenge guides. I always had this part on week 1, week 2, and week 3. I always had this challenge guidelines and recipe for success here. And the reason is that I want that if people open the week 2, they don't have to go to again to check to the preparation page to check what are the guidelines. I wish that they always have the guidelines in front of them, and they just focus on what's on this page, so it's just more user friendly. So that's one reason. And then I would always create myself this recipe for success. Once again, you will not find this on Davila's document, so it's understandable why you didn't put it. It just makes sense. But I create this myself. It's always 2 or 3 tips, what I think it's good. So if you wish, I could create this, for you. Like I'll give you the text, these 2-3 sentences. but maybe you would also like to, do it yourself. I really trust that especially you working out so much, you could also come up with some sort of tips here, and they repeat. So this section, it always repeats. It's always the same week 1, week 2, and actually I can show you how to, if the sections repeat, how easily you can copy. So you can, take the selection tool and basically select the stuff you want to copy. You just basically press copy, and once you are, let's say, in this page, and I want to, okay, in this case, let's say this is empty, and I want to copy exactly in the same position as the other one, so I will not waste time on making sure, dragging and dropping, how does it, how it's aligned. So I could just choose and paste in place, and then it will paste exactly in the same position as it's right there in a week 1 right here, right? So yeah, this is a little thing. And here, for example, you could see that how I changed the font, and I've also adjusted the font of the quote. So basically, the whole font is now Rustico. It's also a little bit more compact, actually, so it's also gives you more space. Then what else? Yeah, okay. So I think this could be it. Let me check. Okay, yeah, this is some sort of a mistake, but anyway, this is on my one. It's not on yours. Oh yeah, one trick. So let me move this. Yeah. So here, for example, it's very important to always check if there are any errors, because this will show you if some image is missing, maybe, or if you have for example, the text box, and sometimes it looks normal, but actually there's more text. So for example, now I wrote more text in this text box, and as you can see, it immediately showed me one error. If I double click on it, it says what kind of error: overset text and a text frame. So if I double click on this one, it shows me here that this plus sign means that I have more text in this text box than it's actually visible. So if I extend this one, suddenly, I mean, now you don't see, but this text is here, so what it means, I'll just Control Z. So this is not the case, because I saw on yours, and I think Davile already showed it somewhere. Need to find it. Sorry. Where was it? Let me find. She had it marked somewhere. Yeah, here, for example, right? So I'm pretty sure that it gives you an error if you open your InDesign, because it's visible here that there's actually more text, but the viewport is still too small. So basically here, it's probably you could just extend it. It's probably something like this now, or whatever, something probably where it's probably something like this. So if you just extend it, or in some cases you could extend it and make 2 lines, and it will be good, but like I said, check there. It will really show you everywhere where the text is overflowing the board. What else I wanted to say about the fonts? Yeah, so I think Davile already mentioned here. I can see it's a different font, so let's make sure that we always use the same font everywhere. Yeah, the spacing. I think these images are a nice addition. So well done. It's just something nicer. But once again, the gap has to be nice. What else? I think that's it actually. So thank you so much for the job. I hope the feedback was clear. If not, let me know.